Hey everyone, excuse me. I told you I was going to send a message via YouTube, and here it is. Um, First off, this is going to be completely off the cuff. I kind of have an idea what I want to talk about, but we'll see what happens. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to the girls. They all played very hard this season. Again, we got first and second place. We would have tied for first. Both teams would have if we had not tied the Union Rebels, the team we beat at the end of the season, to lock in the first and second place. But all in all, considering we had some newcomers and we had a good mix of everything, just a great season altogether. A couple things I want to say is that I hope that they've learned not just about the game of soccer. I'm glad that they learned about positioning, about passing. Obviously, those are things that need to be worked on continually. But I hope they learned some about life, that in a game you might get tripped, you might get knocked down, you might get pushed, but you just got to keep on playing. Whether or not the referee blows his whistle, you have to keep on playing. Because in life, you're going to get knocked down, and that game of life is going on around you. Sometimes you just have to get back up and get back into the game. And my hope is that they've learned a little bit about that. I've said that I love the game of soccer, but my primary goal is to use the game of soccer as a tool to help these young girls become young ladies. And I think we had a good start, not only last season but also this season with the newer girls. So anyway, thank you for allowing me to coach them. I never will say that I'm the best coach, but at the same time, I know the game of soccer. I know what it takes to win, and thank you for allowing me to impart some of that to those girls. It's very, I don't know what the word is, satisfying or gratifying whenever you ask me if I'm going to be coaching them next season, and I say I don't know, or no, or we'll see, and the look on the face that tells me that you really would like me to be your coach again. So I do appreciate that. We'll see what happens. Right now, I am not anticipating coaching in the fall unless it's a U14 girls team, but we'll see what happens. We never know. I might just go around to the different teams and offer my help to whatever coaches might be out there and just needing some help. Anyway, that's 3 months away, so we'll find out what happens. Anyway, there's just a few things I'd like to talk about tonight. I came up here to the soccer fields because I thought it was pretty fitting. I love the game of soccer. What can I say? Really can't get away from it, no matter what I do. Even in the off season, I'm always doing something with soccer. But I just want to encourage everybody to keep in mind a couple of things. First and foremost, this game is about having fun. I don't even care if you're if you go competitive later. It's about having fun. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, you probably shouldn't be doing it. It's like for you parents, if you have a job that you're doing simply because it brings in money, I understand doing it for a while, but you got to find something that you absolutely love to do. The old saying is, find a job you love to do, you never work a day in your life. Same with sports. Find something you love. For these girls, these girls, some of them will go on to basketball, some of them will stick with soccer, some of them may go on to softball. God help us if they do. Volleyball, whatever it is, as long as they enjoy it, encourage them in that. I heard something last night that was pretty pointed. It was, we know of kids that have been killed by guns, kids that have been killed by knives, kids that have been killed in car wrecks, and all these tragic events, but never have I heard of a kid being killed by encouragement. So whatever they want to do, encourage them. Encouragement is different than pushing them. pushing them is good to an extent, but when it becomes more about the game more than about the player, it's time to stop. It becomes more of a job for the kids, and the kids need to have fun. Society has already taken away a lot of their childhood, if you will. They can't play dodgeball anymore, or they can't do certain things because it might offend somebody. Whatever happened to just being a kid? Let them have fun. That was one of my goals this season was, to, don't get me wrong, I wanted to win. I make no bones about that. But like I told the girls, win, lose, or draw, if you play hard, I want to be proud of them. And quite honestly, even if they hadn't played hard, I would have been proud of them. Mainly because, I kind of look at them as my girls too. I'm just proud of them. They're good girls. They're becoming young ladies. You really can't ask for more than that. Just good girls growing up and trying to do the right thing, trying to work hard on the soccer field or the basketball court, whatever it might be. I've seen some of them on the court, and they work just as hard. You can tell that they're driven to success, that they really do want to win, but at the same time they want to have fun, and that's what it's about. It's disheartening to me when I hear parents yelling and screaming at their kids because they want them just to keep going. They can't always keep going. They're kids. At this age, they're 8, 9, and 10 years old. Give them a chance. It's okay if they fail. It's okay if they don't have success on every play or everything. It's okay. And it doesn't, I just want to put it out there, it doesn't help when you're yelling not only at the kids but at the referees, or you're talking bad about the coach or about the other coach or the other referee. It's embarrassing, quite honestly. As a coach, I can handle that, but the kids get embarrassed by that. They really do. And as for the referees, I would say I dare anybody who wants to gripe and complain about the referees, go take a class, get a badge, and go out there for at least 10 games. And not 10 U6 games where there's something more at stake than just a participation trophy. And just see how easy it is. This game of soccer, whenever we go to a soccer game or we sign up to play soccer, we're not signing up dogs, we're not signing up monkeys or kangaroos, whatever it might be. We're signing up human beings. And as such, we have human beings as coaches. We have human beings as players. We have human beings as referees. Now, in today's world, we have technology that we could build robots to referee a game. Problem is, we would never get a game really truly played because of the intricacies of calling a soccer game. A lot of the parents over the years that I've reffed, the problem is they don't know the rules. And soccer is not like basketball where if a foul occurs, you just have to call it. It's not like football where what happens is you get a redo. If, say, a pass interference happens on the defense, you come back and you replay the down. Well, guess what? You can't do that in soccer. You just keep playing. So I challenge you to take a referee class and see what it's like to be out there. Imagine if it was your kid out there getting yelled at, cussed at, and all this other stuff, that nonsense that happens. I bet you have a different feel for it. There's no reason to call them names other than sir or referee. They're human. They're going to make mistakes. And unfortunately, I've been in games where those mistakes cost games. One team gets a bad call and it's a penalty kick, and all of a sudden they win 1-0. But you know what? That's part of life too. You just got to pick yourself up and go. That saying, life isn't fair. Well, you know what? Sometimes mistakes that are made aren't fair to you, but they're mistakes. I've never seen a referee just go out of his way or her way to make calls for one team. Now, you may be able to say, well, I've seen it, and I'm not saying it never happens. But give them a chance. They're going to make mistakes. And besides, at this age, for this particular audience, the girls are 8, 9, 10 years old. No scholarships are being given out. No World Cup is being won. They're not even old enough to play on the middle school team yet. So, it happens. And saying stuff like, push them back, don't let them push you. Well, that's just bad. There's no other way to put it. It's just bad advice. You do that, eventually, if they actually listen to you, then they're going to do that. And you're teaching them not patience, not to trust that the referee might know what he's doing. You're teaching them to whine and complain, basically. Revenge is not always the best thing to do. And that's what that is, pushing back. Now, when the next level at U12 is really when referees start to use yellow cards and red cards. And one thing you'll find is when, especially young girls, and I've seen it with the boys too, because one time I had to send off a young man for continually tripping, and I gave him a red card. But particularly with girls, what they do is they're real brave on the field when they get a card, whether it be yellow or red, and then they come to the sideline, they break down, and they're emotional wreck for about the next game. At least for the rest of that game, they're no good for you, for the team. And you know what, though? It's a good lesson for them. They learn what they can't do. They learn what they can do. But most importantly, they learn that mommy and daddy don't always give the best advice, especially when it comes to the soccer game. That's where you have to trust the coach to know what he or she is doing. The coach's job is not to yell at the referee. The coach's job is to teach the players the game of soccer. And yes, that does include getting back up when you fall down or get pushed down or get tripped. As part of the game, unfortunately. They say soccer is a non-contact sport. Then those people have not played soccer, not real soccer. The coach's job, again, is not to yell at the referee, but rather to inquire to the referee. Yelling out, sir, can I talk to you for a minute? Or, ever so often, yelling something. Here's the problem. What you have to understand, I'm a referee, so I know this stuff. Because I try not to let the parents influence me or change my mood about the game. And sometimes it's difficult, especially when you have a less experienced referee. When the parents and even the players, when they yell at the referee and they whine and complain, it makes it much more difficult for the coach when he yells to complain about something. Because now all of a sudden it's the entire sideline. It's not just one or two individuals. It's, well, this team just whines and complains all the time. No, if you just encourage your kid, worry about your child. Encourage them. Tell them that they're doing a great job. Don't be yelling, to keep going, keep going, keep going. Just let them play the game and encourage them. Tell them they did a good job, even if they may not have. When they make a mistake, tell them it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's just a game. Even FIFA, the Major League Soccer, it's just a game in the end. But back to my point about yelling at the referee. If there's a team, and quite honestly, we've been really good about that, not yelling at the referees. We really have, for the most part. But there have been times when people want to yell at the referee, and I have too. Here's the difference. Whenever everybody is just being encouraging and being quiet in terms of complaining about and to the referee, when everybody's just reading real positive, whenever the coach yells something about a call or a lack of a call, it holds more weight. So just keep that in mind, that referees are human too. They're going to miss stuff. There are angles that happen. The players get in the way. Things happen. You might be able to see it plain as day, but if there's two players between the referee and the play that happened, he may not be able to see it. It's not about perfection. It's about playing the game and just loving it and encouraging your kids, and whatever happens, happens. It really, here's what it comes down to. Take care of what you can take care of. Control what you can control. And let the other stuff fall where it may. Let the referee control the game. Let the coach control the team. And you just control your mouth and your attitude and getting your kid there on time. Control what you can. And everything else will take care of itself. Now for myself, I lost my train of thought there, sorry. Anyway, just keep in mind that it doesn't matter what happens on the field. It's more important that your kid knows that you're proud of them. That your child knows that you love them no matter what happens. I told those girls throughout the season, and especially in the past couple weeks when we were coming down to the last couple games that would decide the standings. And I told them, and I hope some of you parents heard it too, that win, lose, or draw, I was proud of them. And I'm not just saying that. I really am. Some of those girls I've had, since last season, and I've got a relationship with them. It's, a coach-player relationship. But I will give my left arm for some of those people, for those kids. Well, not my left arm. I'm left-handed, so maybe my right hand. No, not that either. My right fourth toe I would give for any one of those girls. I really am proud of them, every one of them. Some of them, quite honestly, I was worried at the beginning of the season because either they've never played or they've never really had to run, and they've never been in a real, I don't want to say competitive setting, but in something that is a little more competitive. But every one of them came on pretty strong, especially at the end. Hannah, for example, the last few games, she made some moves and went down the sideline. I was like, I don't want to say this in a negative way, but I was shocked because I hadn't seen her do that. Tawny began to make some moves with her feet and control the ball well. Kaylin started to understand the importance of passing. Ireland started using her body more to stop the sorry, there's bugs here, to stop the ball. I can't go through everybody. Amber, she didn't just kick the ball as much. She didn't just swing her legs much on the defense. Sorry, I'm trying to think. Haley, became a good all-around player. Yes, we use her mostly on defense, but I tried to get her some offense. And, she was getting frustrated at herself sometimes. But Olivia and Alyssa, at first they just didn't want to run at all. Then they found out that I was going to put them in, even if they didn't want to run, and they started playing. And little Alexis, I'll tell you what, I wish she could have been there more because I could just see in her eyes she really wanted to play. But again, I'm not going to go through everybody because I know I'll forget somebody in the end. I'll get 17 out of the 18 and miss one. But as a coach, it's my job is teaching the game of soccer. It's also to find out what I don't want to say what their potential is, what their leaning is in terms of positions. For example, Kaylin Steele will make a great midfielder. She's got talent in terms of ball skill. Tawny, I think, is going to be fairly decent as a keeper. Julia, I know she doesn't want to hear this, but she'll make a good defender. Things of that nature. And it's not because it's not because that's where I put them on the field. I try to get everybody time at just about every position that we had. But I've been around soccer since I was 5 years old, and I can see things, and I can see strengths and weaknesses, and that doesn't mean that, for example, Julie won't play a striker every so often as she gets older. Doesn't mean that Tawny won't play midfield, or doesn't mean Haley won't play in the midfield or anything like that, or as a forward. It just means that their primary position, I can tell what and honestly, it could change. They change their style of play, that could change. But right now, I see where the girls are headed, and I'm okay with that. I'm sure they're okay with that. The main thing is, I'm proud of them. Whatever they play, wherever they play, I'm proud of them, and I'm glad that they realize. I think that they realize that I am, and that I always have been, and that they gave me their effort, no matter where I put them. Yeah, sure, there were some times when they didn't quite like where I put them, but you know what? They saw that the needs of the team were greater than their own needs. I hate to go all Vulcan on you with the, Mr. Spock. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I wish I could remember the coach's name. He coached the 1980 U.S. hockey team against Russia, and what he said was that the name on the front of the jersey, USA, was more important than the name on the back, which was the individual player's name. And I think the players understand that now, or the girls understand that the team success is more important than their own. And that, at this age, is a great start for any sport, for anything, to know that a team effort is more important than your own individual stats. And that's the same way it is in life, in your job. You get on a project team, it's more important that the project itself get finished and be a success, rather than how much did you do, how much recognition do you get for your efforts. So I know this is kind of a lecture for everybody. I didn't mean for it to be like that, but I think some things just need to be said, and I'm trying to get some things off my chest as well. So thank you for your patience. Anyway, if the girls watch this, then they'll know. If they don't, just tell them that I'm proud of them. That I've come to look at them as surrogate daughters, if you will. I would do anything for them, anything that I can. So that goes for every one of them. I really don't know what else to say in terms of that. So anyway, so for a review of this whole thing, let's just go in random order. When it comes to referees, leave them alone. Let the coach do his job, and that job is to inquire to the referee, not to yell at him. Encourage your kids. Don't be down on them if they miss something or if they fail. Encourage them. Let them know beyond a doubt that you love them. Not because of what they've done, but simply because they're your daughter, or because they're your granddaughter, or whatever it might be. Just let them know that you love them, period. Doesn't matter what they do, doesn't matter what they've done, doesn't matter what their plans are. You just simply love them. In fact, you ought to pause this right now and go give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And if they're not home right now, which as soon as they get home, let them know. So we got referees, daughters, coaches. Oh yeah, about the referees. I really do mean when I say I challenge you, go take a class, learn the rules, and go out there and see how easy it is to mess up a call or to miss a call. You'll find it's a lot different experience than being on the sideline, being a Mr. and Mrs. Know-It-All. Which does remind me that at ussoccer.com, under the More tab and then the Referee tab, you can find videos of the rules. There are videos that every referee has to beginning referee has to watch, and I would encourage you as parents to go watch those. It'll help you better understand things like offside or handling, because there's no such thing as a handball in soccer. It's called handling, and there's a very distinct difference between handball and handling. Things like the advantage clause, whenever if our team has the ball and one of us gets tripped but we keep attacking, they're not going to stop the play. At least they shouldn't, because we have an opportunity to score. So things like that. You ought to watch those videos, if not to become a referee, then to at least understand the rules a little bit better. As for myself, I've enjoyed it. I've not ever held myself as the best coach in the world, the most knowledgeable coach, but I do know, I'm confident in what I do know, and that is positioning and what it takes to win, and conditioning the girls. And I've hoped that I've instilled some of that into the girls. Most importantly, above all, I hope that I've instilled some love for the game, because again, soccer is a unique game, and it's a great game. I mean, what can I say? There's not much more I can say than that. So again, thank you for letting me coach your girls. I'd like to say a special thanks to Jason Fitzgerald and Mike Garby for helping me out with the teams this year. I know when I was doing high school games, they had to show up and take care of the 18 girls. So kudos to them and thank you. On that real quick, if a head coach ever can't be there, you should still go to practice. Just saying. And I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it's kind of disrespectful to the coach, to the team, and to those who are volunteering to help. When the coach isn't there, you need to be there, because just getting your foot on the ball, even if you don't learn anything, if you just come out and play each other, scrimmaging or just dribbling the ball around, that's better than not doing anything at all. So for future reference, always be at practice anytime you can, whether the coach can or not. Usually there's going to be a circumstance why he's not there or she's not there. But the people that the coach asks to be assistant coach, usually there's a reason for it. He trusts that they understand the game well enough to handle a practice. So anyway, yep, I guess I'll just leave it at that. Say thank you again. We got some trophies coming, so I'll let you know about that, and we'll go from there. If you have any questions, everybody has my number. You also got the GroupMe app, and there's my email address. If you don't have any of that, it's all on the Catoosa website, or the CatoosaSoccer.org website, I should say. So thank you, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the pitch in the fall, right after our party, of course. So anyway, girls, proud of you. Thank you for letting me be your coach. Parents, thank you for letting me be your kids' coach. And we'll see you out on the pitch. Bye.